Hi and welcome to Loopy Mabel's Closet. My name is Jane and today's video is all about my latest make, my Paz Jacket by Itch to Stitch. Hi and welcome back. So before I begin, I am wearing my Freya top by Tilly and the Buttons. I've just popped on my caplets and my raggy brooch because it's a little bit chilly today. So today it's all about my Paz Jacket by Itch to Stitch. Now this video I am doing in conjunction with the Sew Fearless challenge, which was a sewing challenge set up by Megan Sullivan and Akram from Akram's Ideas. They've both got YouTube channels and I'll put the links for them both in the box below. And there's been a few of us joining into this challenge and there is a full list of everybody that's on the challenge, and I'll also put that in the box below too. And basically it's taking on something maybe that you've been putting off or you think you can't do, maybe stretching yourself a little bit more and just maybe going out of your comfort zone. So I thought this is a perfect opportunity for me to have a go at making the Paz Jacket. Now I've had this pattern, I think I bought it just before Christmas, and I bought the fabric I bought this fabric myself from Minerva, this Ponte, and I've had this, probably got this at the back end of January, so I've had it quite a while and I've been putting off, and this Sew Fearless challenge, I thought, right, now's the time to tackle this jacket. So a quick reminder of the pattern. Sorry it's in black and white, but I like to save my ink. So it's the Paz Jacket by Itch to Stitch and it's recommended for stretch fabrics. So I chose the Ponte. Now I am a little bit disappointed because the colour I ordered, or I thought I ordered, was camel. I wanted a lovely camel colour that I could wear with my jeans, and I know camel goes with lots of colours. So I ordered it thinking it was camel, but foolishly I ordered it on my phone, on my iPhone, so obviously the screen's a lot smaller, thinking it was camel shade. And when it come, it's not really camel, as I would class camel to be. It's more got a pinky nude, like a nude colour. So I was a little bit disappointed with the colour, but anyway, I thought, right, plod on. It certainly has challenged me, to say the least, not because anything is in it that's technical as such. I think it comes up as an advanced pattern to follow, which didn't put me off, because a pattern is a pattern as far as I'm concerned, and if the instructions are clear enough then everybody should be able to follow it. You just take your time. So I thought, why not, let's have a go at the Paz Jacket. So yeah, so apart from the colour, which I would have preferred it to have been the camel colour, I thought, right, carry on. And it's a good pattern because it comes in all the different cup sizes, so I followed the measurements and chose my size. I went for size 10 for the finished garment measurement. Now I'm a 38B and the finished garment measurement for the bust is 41.25. So and it is a little bit loose on me in the bust area. So in hindsight, I probably should have done the size 8 with a finished measurement of 39.75 for the bust for my size. And in hindsight, I wish I'd done a toile, but I'm like a bull in a china shop, you know, I want to get things done. It was bad enough having to pre-wash the fabric, and obviously which is a bit of a bind for me because I just want to get straight on and sew. And I think now in hindsight, I should have probably made a toile, to be honest, because it doesn't fit that great, I don't think. I'll pop some pictures up of me wearing in the garden, which you can't really tell that much, but when I've tried it on, it is a little bit loose around the bust area, and the sleeves are a little bit like loose as well. I picked out some vintage buttons out of my vintage button tin, which I think go quite nice for the front. And again on the cuffs, they remind me of my granddad's cardigans. He used to have cardigans with these type of buttons on, these like leather buttons, so that give me some nice memories when I was sewing them on. But I think personally that it should have another button, I think, up there, another one there, which I may put in. I just think one more there would just finish it off. So I may put a third button in. I don't think I've got any more of these buttons, that's the point. So I don't know whether I can. If I do, I'll have to change all the buttons. But I just think one more button up there finishes it off. John, bless him, he says, oh, it's gorgeous, that's really lovely. But to me, when I look at it and when I tried it on, to me, it just reminds me, it just gives me awful memories of when I was at school in my sewing class, and everything I made, because obviously I was 15, 16, everything I made looked homemade, and it put me right off sewing for quite a while after that, because it just looked homemade. I just think this looks homemade. It's just there's too many things on it that I find, or maybe I'm just being too picky, I don't know, I'm just looking at it from the screen. I don't know, maybe it's just me being picky, maybe it's because I'm not that keen on the colour, maybe it's the colour. I just think it looks homemade. Tell me what you think. Honestly, give me your opinions, ladies. Tell me what you think. Am I being a bit too hard on myself? I don't think it looks professional. I don't know why I'm going to wear it. John said, bless him, he says it looks lovely and it looks really professional, and he thinks I'm being too hard on myself. I don't know. I'm not keen on the way the sleeves. I've still got like a little bit of too much in the sleeve. I think there's far too much there in the sleeve for me. I don't know. And does anybody also know how to iron Ponte? Because I've ironed it and it still does not look pressed at all. I mean, look at that sleeve. I've pressed it. That doesn't look too bad. Do you know what I did in the end? Because I don't have one of those, is it a clapper or whatever it's called? I don't have one of them. So in the end, I got my iron and I ironed the seams, and then I used the weight of the iron and bashed the seam. I don't know whether so that doesn't look too bad, that one there. Maybe I should have done that before I'd stitched it up for that one there. And again, I did it with the back, so the back's nice and flat, and then it's got that lovely vent. Oh, I haven't showed you the inside, have I? I'll show you that in a moment. So the back's not so bad. So maybe I should have, in hindsight, mind you, I didn't think when I was ironing it of bashing the seams with the iron. I think it was at this point by which time I was gritting my teeth, because by the time I was doing this, I was like, I don't like this, I hate it, I'm not enjoying it at all. Everything I do, it looks unprofessional, it just looks handmade to me. So I don't know. No, when I'm looking at it now, it doesn't look too bad. I've done the pockets, and you've got the welts on the pocket, and it's lined. I just picked a plain cream lining, and I don't know, maybe I'm just being too hard. This was an absolute nightmare. The collar, this part of the collar, I couldn't, I didn't know where to clip it to. You have to clip it to the one of the markings on the pattern, and it took me absolutely ages to fathom out where I was clipping it to. So that was a bit of a nightmare, but I managed to solve it in the end. Thankfully, I hadn't clipped too far away from where I was meant to clip. So when I actually fathomed it out, and I thought, I've clipped, it's gonna. But luckily, because it was 1/2 inch seam allowance, where I'd clipped it, which was a little bit out of where it should have been clipped, it was still within the seam allowance, so it was okay. Otherwise, that would have been a disaster. I pressed and pressed and pressed the collar, but just to me, it just does not look pressed. And maybe I need to invest in one of those clappers, whatever they're called, and maybe that would have done it. And also I've got, I don't know, you probably won't be able to see it on the camera, but I've got a pen mark. Don't know where I've got that from. Hopefully that will rub out. And again, I have turned these edges round and through, but they still don't look finished. Or maybe it's just me, and this, I think it's this bit that's annoying me, because it just doesn't look pressed. How do you get that to be nice and flat and pressed? Oh, it's driving me mad. It's just reminding me of school, and I really don't want it to go into the cupboard and never see the light of day again, because I've spent hours on this, nearly 2 days worth of work. So I really do want to wear it, but maybe I'm just being too hard. So please let me know what you think. Tell me, am I being too hard on myself? And does it not look as bad as I'm thinking? But lovely Lynn, her handle on Instagram is Old Soul. She's also been making this jacket probably around about the same time as me. And she said on Instagram that she was going to do the Hong Kong seam finish. Now, there are brilliant tutorials. She has different tutorials throughout the stages for you to, or picture tutorials that you can follow for certain things. And one of them's on the Hong Kong finish, and one of them's on how to do the welt pockets. So that's really useful. And then when Lynn said she was doing Hong Kong finish, I thought, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna overlock. And then after she said that, I thought, maybe I should do Hong Kong finish, because I've got loads and loads of buyer's tape, pretty tapes. And I thought, I wonder if I should do that. So it's your fault, Lynn, because obviously if I hadn't have done a Hong Kong finish, it probably would have been made in half the time. But Rome wasn't built in a day, and I suppose if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. So let me show you my Hong Kong finish inside. There is the lining, and there is my Hong Kong finish on the inside, which I think looks quite pretty. And I've also got to overlock the sleeve, the armhole, and I lined my sleeve as well, because Lynn said try lining the sleeve, because that might help getting it on and off with it being pontine. It might be a little bit sticky, so I just lined it as well. I just stitched the lining to the sleeve pieces and then carried on as normal. So I need to go back in and overlock that, but I shall show you my close-up of my Hong Kong seams. So I'm really pleased with that. So that's something new I've learned, even though it's not particularly hard. It just takes a long time and a lot of bias binding. So I was quite pleased with that. Now, I like the Hong Kong seams. So I'm not sure. So I need your opinion, ladies. What do you think? Am I being a little bit too hard on it? Or do you think as well? I don't mind if you tell me. I don't mind at all. Tell me what you think. I don't know. The collar's not right. It just doesn't seem pressed. Maybe if I got one of those clappers and give it a good bashing, that might help. Or maybe it's too late now, it's stitched up. So that is my Paz jacket, and it certainly has been a challenge, and I've certainly stretched myself, and there's been a few blue swear words as well while I was making it. All the time I was thinking, I don't like it, I'm not going to wear it. So it has certainly opened my eyes into thinking, is it worth the effort of making a jacket? I am not sure. When I'm going to do something quite technical like this in future, definitely do a toile. Yeah, definitely, because I think if I had done, I probably would have done the next size down for fit. It does fit, it's fine. And it goes okay with my jeans, which is what I wanted it for in the first place. And also, it's took my mind off the situation that's going on in the world as well at the minute. I don't know about anybody else out there, but I have got a lot of nervous energy. I'm really stressing over this coronavirus. It's really, really on my mind all the time. I'm stressing, not for me, but obviously for John and my mum and dad, who just live 2 doors away. I'm absolutely worried sick for the 3 of them. And so this sewing, thank God I've got my sewing and my crochet, because it helps me switch off for a few hours and it just gives me something to do, because I really do have a lot of nervous energy and it's absolutely awful. And I think if I didn't have all this sewing and my crochet, I would probably go down into a little bit of a dark hole, I'm sure. I mean, it's Mother's Day today here in England, and I went down to give my mum some flowers and a box of chocolates, because that's the only things I could literally grab quickly from the local garage, because obviously I don't want to go too far, because I don't want to come back and possibly bring back a virus with me and then pass it on. I had some masks, some face masks, and I put 2 face masks on, doubled up the face masks, and I sat in my mum's garden and chatted to her through the conservatory glass, and she made me a coffee, put the coffee on the doorstep, and then I went and got the coffee and I sat in one of her garden chairs and just chatted to my mum and my dad through the conservatory glass this morning, which is absolutely, it was surreal, it was like bizarre, and it's just totally stressing me out with mum and dad, because I need my mum and dad in my life. Definitely, especially with John being with cancer and what have you, I need my mum and dad. So I'm absolutely stressing, if anything happened to them. Oh, it's just absolutely awful. So thank God I've got my sewing and my crochet just to keep my mind off things. So yes, so I hope everybody else is looking after themselves and taking care, and we're just all in this together. And hopefully we'll get through to the other side. It's just unreal, isn't it? On a lighter note though, thank you for joining me today, and tell me what you think of my Paz Jacket by Itch to Stitch. Am I being a little bit too hard on myself? I've got lots more of easier things to make over the next few weeks, so watch this space. Please take care, everybody, and I shall see you on my next vlog. So happy sewing until then.